Dear Daiga, dear guests, dear attendees, I'm very pleased to introduce Dr. Daiga Kalnina, an assistant professor at the University of Latvia in the Faculty of Educational Sciences and Psychology. Daiga is visiting the University of Fechter for this week as part of the Erasmus Plus program, and it's an honor for us to have you here. Thank you so much for joining and share your thoughts with us. Daiga's research focuses on the integration of digital tools, artificial intelligence, for example, particularly in educational contexts. And she has a wide range that include, for example, the use of AI in both school and higher educational settings, the development of interactive learning materials, but also digital tools for enhancing student engagement. Moreover, she's deeply invested in advancing digital applications for primary science education. This is very interesting, and I'd like to point out one of her contemporary research articles in a recent study by you and some of your colleagues titled, and I have to read that, Artificial Intelligence for Higher Education, Benefits and Challenges for Pre-Service Teachers. You are exemplifying the commitment to understanding the evolving educational landscape. This research explores how AI is perceived by pre-service teachers at the University of Latvia, highlighting both the advantages and the challenges or barriers AI presents in academic and professional settings. So the study calls for increased efforts in AI literacy within higher education, in teaching and learning environments. And we are very fortunate to have you share your insights today and how AI can reshape educational futures. So please join me in welcoming Daiga for a presentation.
Thank you. And guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. And it's the end of my German language knowledge. And nice to meet you, and thank you for invitation. And also I invite you, students as well, with Erasmus to study for a semester or enjoy in our team for some days as teachers. You're welcome. And also, if you think about master studies, then we have program Digital Innovations and Design in Education, so where students are learning new technologies and how they implement in an educational context. So, but my everyday course is connected with technology-enhanced learning process, and I'm more practitioner how to implement and what is available and how to use it, and also primary science teaching methodology. And one of lectures in this course is also about how to use technologies to help students and help for teachers. And also, if you want to ask questions during lecture, please feel free to scan this QR code. And also you can use YouTube chat, and people from this auditorium will help to see are there some questions and ask them. And during lesson, I will ask to interact with me, and also this will be the same place which you are scanned, but in all slides there will be this QR code again, so don't worry if you didn't scan it yet. So, and to understand to whom I am talking and where to start, please vote about your current knowledge about AI. Okay, I see that we have quite different knowledge. So I will start a little bit about principles of AI and what we can wait for it and what is impossible. And then we'll look on some researches, how to use it in the teachers' everyday work. And after that, some practical part by exploring ready-made AI tools which can be useful for teachers. So the structure of this lecture will be small discussion, AI, magic or science, and then how AI can support teachers and what ethical and practical considerations AI addresses, and how to communicate with generative AI to have the best results, and what tools are developed for teachers, and at the end, questions and answers. So, what do you think? AI, science or magic? Yeah. Although I know that AI is fully science, I still wonder how magic it is. AI, it's mostly math, so it's based on the formulas, and this formula for neural networks is quite old, and but as this formula is well known since 1986, the Nobel Prize was given only in last year for John Hopfield and Jeffrey Hinton, and I kindly recommend to read this popular article without strange terms, which is not understandable, but they explain quite easy how it works. And the main idea is that all these generative AI, they divide all your prompts, your input in tokens. Sometimes one token is one sign or letter, sometimes it's the whole word. And after that, he according to this formula, is looking for direction of vectors and combine them together. So therefore, this generative AI make hallucinations because he is quite dumb. He just combine something which must in most of cases be together and give us answer. So therefore we have quite interesting answers sometimes. We have new words which doesn't exist in our language, and fake facts. And as more we give information, as better he could answer based on our input. And I remember how I asked about one sentence expression we use in Latvia expression, which means that, it's something impossible. I will not express in Latvian. And he answered me that he doesn't know what does it mean and from where it comes, and asked me to give more information. And I give him my guess. And he said, yes, and give me a long answer. But it was full with facts, and I can check these facts by Google or other sources. And the answer was that it came from a song, which is a very famous song, which was wrote by two months, and when I checked, the one was dead and one wasn't born in the time when this song was made. So, but answer looked quite good and trustable. So, but if we compare this different generative AI tools, so at this moment, Gemini is best than ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is working on the new model. I think in the nearest weeks they will be better again. So there is a competition, and as you can see, the models are quite a lot. What does it mean? Average IQ for people is 100 points. So, and we can see that some these AI tools are clever than average people. But in the same time, it is far away from the man Jung-Hoon Kim, which have the world's highest IQ, which are 276 points. So, and the problem is, that if you are not clever enough, if your points is under 100, so you can imagine that this is your safe bell. So he will never sing. And you are not clever enough to understand that he is talking dumb things. So AI can help, but don't trust him. Check everything what he is offering, every word. It could be a great help if you have no ideas where to start, what about it is, you can ask, and then you will have more information to start check or ask more questions about this. For example, I quite often do it to solve problems with English when I can't decide this or that word because translator me gives two options, and then I am asking in which cases they use this or that word, and he explains and gives examples, and I believe, but I am not sure. And then I can check also in dictionaries, and in this way how I can learn. And it could help save me time. For next time I will be able to solve this problem by myself, and there will be another problem which I can help. But don't trust him. Just look on it that it can help you, not change your brain with his brains. So, and mostly these AI tools are faster than we. Not clever, but faster. For example, in 2024, Nobel Prize was given for in chemistry was given for scientists, and they developed AlphaFold 2, which is AI tool which can synthesize proteins. So, and it will be useful for designing a new medicine. And it could do it in some seconds instead of people when we will take years to design this only with our brain. But it doesn't mean that this AlphaFold is more clever. It just have this speed and resources, and it can calculate in seconds millions of things instead of our brain capacity that it's impossible for people. But we can do it. Just maybe we will finish and our grandchildren will further that, and then they will have the same result. And what researchers tell us about AI support for teachers? So it's hard to see, yeah? Okay, and mostly it's about administrative assistance to help personalize learning, to help maintain this professional development, and also use enhanced teaching tools and support diverse learning needs. And if you looked at most deeply on this research, that one thing researchers suggest is to use AI to reduce workload. As we mentioned before, he could do it much faster than we can do. And instead of sitting and writing some lesson plans, we can just ask them what we want and have immediate result in some seconds. And then we can read it. And reading is much more faster than writing. Also, for lesson preparation, so you can ask to prepare lesson plans, tests, questions for discussion, reading materials, work pages, and so on. Whatever you can imagine, you can ask, and he will do it very quickly. For example, sometimes I ask for ideas for a science lesson plan, and he suggests me discuss some situations about this and that. Okay, please give me these situations to discuss. Okay, some seconds and I have situations, I read them. This is a quite stupid situation, it's perfect. And or some are, it could be good, I need to change a little bit and it will fit to my students. And we can save time. I don't know how is the system in Germany, but in Latvia we have a very, very small paid time for preparation of lessons. So we have 24 contact lessons per week for teachers and a little bit, I don't know, 9 lessons per week to read all tasks and prepare lessons. So I think that our government said us very clearly, use tools to fit in this paid time. So we are coming to university to learn, to know everything, to understand when he is talking dumb things, to learn how to write prompt, what we exactly want, what lesson must look like, and then ask and have immediate help from AI. And then about personalized learning, also in Latvia we have this idea, which is quite slowly realizing in real life, that students with special needs are integrated in usual classes, but sometimes they are just different. They don't have special needs, but they are maybe more, they need more time, or they can't understand text, or they have dyslexia and other things. And then we can ask help. We can just put our pupil's book with text and ask, please write it for this or that reason. Or we can ask to divide in smaller pieces and add tasks for students so they can go step by step. So read one one or some sentences and then think about this, what I understand. And then we can work with one group maybe who are faster and give these tasks for another group, and student's assistant could help, and we can manage all this class. And also real-time feedback is suggested as a good thing, but there is a problem with GDPR. So if we want to use such systems, so we need to be sure that this data is not available for other persons. So it needs that you need to have for school specific license, or these programmers can add somewhere your own AI. In another case, it could be travel. So, therefore, it is not very popular in Latvia now due to these GDPR regulations. And also, you can use this AI, for example, ChatGPT or Gemini or other, as tutor for you. Just ask him questions, ask to prepare learning materials, ask him prepare questions, and then you give answers, and then he correct and give you feedback, and you can talk like with teacher, but again, you will never be sure what you left for him. So then double check if you think that it doesn't fit. But there is this button which calls deep research, and if you use this, then you will have quite good answers, and he will show everything where he's looking for these answers. Yeah, it's a quite good button for teachers and quite dangerous for students because if you like this button, it means that you don't want to use your brain, and if you use it once and again and again, and then a teacher said, no, everything will be on paper, and your brain is empty because you didn't learn anything. So therefore, be careful with this deep research button. Use it as helper to search for literature, for articles, but after that, read carefully what he offers. Learn from him how to make sentences, but again, try to rewrite them by yourself to be sure that you will be competent enough at the end of your studies. And also learning analytics and virtual and reality and simulations is something that is coming in thanks to AI. But about learning analytics, it's again the story about GDPR and virtual reality and simulations. I yesterday saw in one tool that it will coming soon. But I will lie because I can't remember which one, but there was a button exactly that it will coming soon, so you can ask and he will make simulations and students can use them to simulate some processes. I think it will be quite interestingly how it will develop, because now it's quite hard or expensive to find appropriate simulations. PhET is good, but there are only some simulations, and yeah, it could be good if he could make it for you. And the last is for these diverse learning needs, which we mentioned that how to integrate this support, but overall the best choice is to have a learning management system for school and include this AI tool in this, then it will be correct everything with this personal data, and you can manage it in everyday life. Also, there are suggestions about recognition of emotions and how to use them, but it is not allowed in Europe countries. But we will talk about it a little bit later. So, to conclude this, there are quite a lot of benefits to use AI, and also challenges according to these benefits, such as accuracy and reliability of information AI gives you. So, and now I want to ask you discuss with your colleagues. Have you any other ideas on how AI can help teachers? So, and then I will ask you share your ideas, or for those who are on the other side of the screen, you can write them in this Slido. So, do you have? Yeah.
Well, we've talked about the model you presented in terms of the different useful methods how AI can support teachers, and we haven't really had to add anything. So we talked about the main idea that the models are really helpful for us to think about the different ideas and possibilities. We use a different model when we talk about AI from Lea Schulz, who has also presented such a model in terms of different possibilities. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, we haven't found a thing that we had to really add to your model and your ideas. So we also talked about lesson plans, how we can use AI to make sure that the materials we present students and learners are individualized for them. So we think this is a great tool for that, but to be honest, we haven't found many things we have to add to your model and your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to add something? Yep. Okay. So, and then we can look on this ethical and practical considerations. So the one thing is data privacy, and then this bias in these answers, and a potential for over-reliance on technology. So you can feel that I am quite positive about this. And I use a lot, and therefore every time when I open a student's works, I know it's AI made. And then is the question how I can improve it. And the last thing what I did, I opened every article they mentioned, every article, and after that, I asked, I will count this work if you could show in this article exactly where you found this idea. Yeah. And they asked, can we rewrite it? Because there are no AI tools which can detect in 100% that it's AI written. We made quite a lot of tests in different models to compare how good they are, and we prepared one bachelor thesis by deep research and put in different models to ask, and no one of these models said that it is 100% AI. And also we looked for bachelor theses which are quite old, never talk about AI as usual peoples, and asked, and he found from 10 to 50% that it is AI generated. So only people can check by sources of literature. Sometimes they doesn't exist, or they have similar changes in these names, and read what is written in students' work and what is written in this real article. Yeah.
But if I'm allowed to ask, do you consider this is a problem when students use AI for their bachelor or master thesis, or do you have some sort of idea or some sort of an arrangement with the students in terms of university? Because one could argue maybe that if it's a tool that is available and that has many benefits, maybe it is something we should use. So maybe there's an ethical consideration that if, for example, AI is better in lesson plans and can make better plans, maybe it's an ethical imperative to say, well, you have to use it because your competence may be less developed than the AI competence in this regard. So is there maybe not something like an imperative to use AI to make better research, better lesson plans, and to develop faster in terms of the competencies? So is it really a problem when someone uses AI in this regard?
There are different approaches in different universities. In University of Latvia, it is written in every study course description that it is not allowed to use AI, except if teacher give you permission. So, and I give permission in my science courses and in technology courses, of course, too, to use it, and I suggest to use it. So you need to learn how to use it meaningfully. But if you need to analyze literature, you can use it to find literature. But analyzing is yours. So, and it of course depends on what permissions you gave to students, but we can say that the student knows how to analyze if there is incorrect sources. It means that he didn't analyze it. If he did it, he would write correct sources, and therefore sometimes we have these objections. Sorry, you need to write, or we are asking to present and ask questions and so on, because you are here to learn. So after that, when you will finish, you can use it. We will help you to learn how to use it. But if you will not have enough brain capacity, you will never understand where is this incorrect things when he is hallucinating, and so it depends on this aim of using. And also another thing is. So let's finish this about ethical considerations. And there are a lot of things which is not allowed in the European Union according to this AI Act. And some of these things is that unacceptable risk, so it's not allowed, is emotion recognition in workplaces and educational institutions. And it gives also some challenges. For example, there are some quite good AI tools which can help to autistic students to recognize emotions, for example, during Zoom meetings and so on, but it's not allowed in European Union. So I think that they will discuss after some years and evaluate in what ways it is allowed and in what ways not. And also as high risk, it's also this emotional recognition is in education, it's like as high risk, and you need to evaluate carefully for what purposes do you use it. And And this, and also you need to mention that if you use some AI systems, that it is AI. So not to imagine that it is written by people or that you are talking with real people. Sometimes it seems stupid, but there are quite a lot of people who can't understand this difference, and they really believe that when they use chatbot, that they are talking with real men who are writing against them. Okay, yeah. About teachers' competency, we made research which is published in Frontiers about pre-service teachers, and it was in 2023, and what they think about AI, and mostly they find it necessary to look for content information. It's like a search tool. And also to include students with diverse learning needs. But we had another question when we asked, did you use it for this reason? Because in Latvia we have a system that we don't have enough teachers, and students from the second year, they can work in school as part-time teachers. We don't have this certification or other things. Schools just asking, please give us teachers. No one who can teach, so welcome to Latvia. And on this question, the answer no. So it means that I don't know what they are doing. Maybe they are skipping this part to include students with diverse learning needs, but they understand that they could use, but don't use this. And also we asked about benefits, and students answered that it helps students with language barriers to learn. And it is understandable because quite a lot of students graduated Russian-speaking schools, and sometimes it is not so easy to speak in Latvian, and this is time when government decided that we will stop this practice, and there will not be Russian schools, Lithuanian schools, and other language schools, that all schools must learn fully in Latvian, and as foreign language they can include this. And then a lot of students found this helpful to overcome this language barrier. And also they agreed that global knowledge become more accessible, and that these searching skills maybe is not so good to use Google. It was in time when Gemini was not included in Google search, and they use it's a searching engine. And 35% of pre-service teachers thought that AI should be banned in study process. And that there were questions, quite a lot of questions about that, and a lot of them thought that it is that AI will overtake the world, and if we will start with him, he will do things like in movies, and then we understand that there are quite a lot imaginations about what AI and what could he do and how it works. And also less than 40% had a positive attitude, that they said, yes, we like AI very much and we want to use it. And now we are making a new research. So we had collect answers on the same questions. So to understand, does something change during these 2 years as we see more and more AI in students' work, and what is their attitude to AI now. So if you want to join to this research, you are welcome to discuss it later on. And then, of course, the next step is how to ask for help to AI, and what is the best way to write prompt. If we know how AI works, that he just generate something based on math formulas, so we need to ask correctly to have a good result, not just something he could generate from our question. And the suggestion from one of developer of this OpenAI, ChatGPT owner, suggests that the first thing is clearly define the objective. What do you want? And then describe return format. In what way do you want to have it back? In a table or in a written text, or maybe in PDF or another format. And then write some warnings. What you don't want, what not to include, so what skip. And the last thing is write the context of it, background information. Sometimes you can add, for example, photo or PDF file with information for lesson or other things, to have the meaningful answer on this. And so it works quite quickly. And I think the longest part is to write this prompt, and then answer will be given you in some seconds. On this morning, I asked about directions of vectors to compare different models. And about ChatGPT, he answered quickly, and then I asked to compare with another models, and then he showed me, I am asking this, I am looking for this, I am searching for this, and it took 2 minutes to generate this answer. So it depends on information which is available and what we are asking. If you are asking something concrete in real time, it will take more time. If it is something well known, like lesson plans, which are millions, then he can generate it very quickly. Then some more ideas for prompting. You have make this iterative refinement, so you can start with this basic prompt and then ask, add something, write something, add more specific requirements. For example, when I further this, I just asked to make for me handouts and then tests and so on, and I had it in some seconds. I scroll slower than he wrote. And also there's an approach which calls prompt pattern languages. So you can use some patterns like act as third grade teacher, or I will be a professor in university, please prepare this or that. And one thing I want to add, we want to be kind, please, hello, and so on. It is not necessary. It just took resources for this AI. So don't say hello, don't be kind and pleasant, just ask. And it will be better because it will be faster. Imagine if a million of people at the same time start a conversation with hello, how are you? It took several resources and so on. And there is QR code where you can find some more these pattern language prompts. And here I asked, so I'm a 6th grade student and I need to write argumented essay. Please ask me questions. It's question-based prompt. And please ask me questions. What do you need to know so to write this essay? And he asked me questions, and then, of course, I will just skip some moment. It will be quite long to write these answers. During this time, I could write this essay, but as I am lazy, I just wrote these answers and asked for a result. So he said, no, you skipped some questions, so write these answers. Okay, I wrote these answers, and so I had essay. And I use as a mother ChatGPT or Gemini sometimes. When my child comes and asks me questions, oh, I need this or that. I need to upload my presentations about about musicians who did this or that. I said, okay, it's 10 o'clock in the evening. Do you have a more concrete task? How many? What about? Okay, he will give me. I just quickly wrote it and then asked to make presentation and then put in Google Slides to have a nice view and send him and said, so no, you will sit down and check every fact. Are they correct? Yes, and no, he's not asking to me. So I suppose he learned very quickly and using it by himself. And I think, was it a good idea to show how I do it or not? So I will see it, I think, during next school year, based on his grades and reflections from teacher. And if you know what the AI can do, don't ask stupid tasks to students. At the same age, they will just use some kind of AI to do it. And then, of course, you can upload the pupil's book and just ask to help. Wait, he's not helping me. Okay. So I found just a book which was with these watermarks and asked to prepare a lesson and asked to decide how many lessons do I need for this. And so I have this schedule minute by minute what to do and which tasks. So then I just wanted to be sure that it is according to this book, that it fits to these questions. And then I decided to ask to add home tasks and other things. And so in real life, it took me 5 minutes or even less to prepare 8 lessons. And Also, you would need some pictures to illustrate or to show something, and there is no pictures which fits to your needs. They are something similar, but not exactly what you want. Of course, you can make this picture by yourself, but sometimes it's impossible because you don't have such equipment you can take photo of. And then you can ask just to generate picture. For example, I found this example picture, this example picture in Unsplash. And this license is that you can do anything with it except solve this in the same condition. And I asked to write prompt. So I explained what I need and asked it to write prompt, because if I will start to write by my own words, then I will have a wonderful pictures, but not what I need. And it's a good idea to ask to ChatGPT to write a prompt, explain what I want, and he will rewrite in his language, which is appropriate. And then he started to generate this image. And pixel by pixel, I had such a wonderful image, and I can start lesson with this. Is it possible in real life? And then we can start to learn about reactions and so on, and or search for information, what kind of chemicals could be in this color, and what we can add to have this fire lights, or is it possible or not. In this QR code you can use all what I did, what I asked. So I prepared task to write prompt for you. Are you ready? Or you are too tired? You are ready. Okay. So then I will ask you to write prompt. You can use whatever strategy you want. This goal, these 4 steps, or like you are teacher or what you are, and to ask generate 45-minute lesson, English lesson plan for 5th grade students. And the lesson must focus on identifying and using similes and metaphors in creative writing. Okay, so you can choose whatever you want. If you choose Gemini or ChatGPT, you can then copy this link on your prompt and result. And in next slide I will open. You can just copy it so others can learn. If you will use another AI which doesn't allow to copy this link, you can just copy this prompt what you wrote, and then others can copy and try what result will AI give you. If you need to come back to some strategies, I can go back and show you. If you need some previous slides, you just ask, I will go back.
It's the one previous. Okay. Finished.
One before. This. It would be interesting to compare. You will ask everyone the same, and what will be the result?
Can I have the previous slide, please? Thank you.
It's bad or too complicated?
So structured, it looks boring, like doing all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Expected.
Then you can ask. Yeah. Then you can ask. So it means. Could you show me your prompt?
Yeah, just this.
Yeah. Just show this, but you can ask based on this. You can ask to add this or to skip this, or for example, I asked that I have some children who can't listen for a long time, so give me advice on this. So I see that you are smiling. Is it a good result or
Well,
some?
it depends. But we can talk about that later. Everybody has finished.
Yeah. So if you need some help or assistance, please don't hesitate to ask. No, no, it's okay. Is it better now?
It's just kind of reproduce the same over and over again. So, because I mean, this is what the educational system does anyway. So,
Yeah.
train teachers to do the same stuff over and over.
Yeah. And then when it becomes boring, then you can ask help to ChatGPT. Suggest.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not logged in, so I cannot post my link to the result.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Or can I?
Just
Yeah.
You use pictures.
Here. Yeah.
I can try to
Yeah.
sign up. Maybe it helps.
Yeah, but it's not so important in this case. Yeah, you can just reflect on the result. So, did you finish it, or try to?
Everything again, so
Okay. Okay. It's okay.
Yeah. We'll have to share it in a second, but it's finished.
Yeah. Okay, I have first one. Let's see. No, what is happening? Something got wrong. Sorry. Okay. Who wants to reflect about this result? Yeah.
Sure. So first of all, to be honest, I used the easy way. So I just screenshotted your exercise, and it automatically gave me a very, from my point of view, convincing prompt. So it actually did the work I had to do, you wanted me to do by itself. So I think that's a great thing. So it already produced, from my point of view, like I said, a very convincing prompt, like create a detailed 45-minute English lesson plan, 5th graders, etc., etc. And the results were not the most innovative lesson plan I've ever seen, but considering that the AI doesn't know the actual learners, and we do neither, I think it's quite convincing as a first step. But if I have my students in mind and I know which kind of level they are, what are their interests, their motivation, and so on, I think I can, with some additional prompts, make it more suitable for the specific class. So I think this is a great way. And it still forces me to ask myself, what if one day AI can do better lesson plans? So I'm not completely convinced that this is the best lesson you could do as a teacher for a specific classroom. But maybe one day, if AI might have more data, and that's an ethical question, how much do we want to share? But maybe one day, what is happening when we have to say that the AI can make better plans than we could do as teachers? I think this is...
You know, there is a Forrester report. And before AI, there was professions which will not be impacted with AI, and which will be impacted by AI. And there was no educational sector, and no lawyers and similar. No, in this last report, educational system teachers, 33% could be changed by AI. So it means that yes, in reality, it could be, especially in higher levels, where students know how to learn, they have learning skills, so they could learn in their own pace, not to sit down and spend their time when they can understand it very quickly, or maybe they need more time for some things. So it could be reality. I suppose that not for kindergarten and smaller children, but for older, yes. And then again, university, where you need a very, very specific knowledge. But if you can look at that in databases like in Scopus, there are AI helpers who can search for you and prepare these summaries of researches. In some years, it will be so developed that it could work instead of professors.
But are you afraid that there might be a generation which is not able to critically assess these type of lesson plans? Because we used these prompts and critically assessed the lesson plans which ChatGPT or other tools gave us, and we can criticize these plans and say, well, it's not pupil-oriented enough, maybe I would change that. But do you see some sort of a danger that upcoming generations, when they are used as teachers, as upcoming teachers, that they can do their lesson planning with AI without having the necessity to be able to do it by themselves? that they might lose this competency to make adequate lesson planning, so that they just say, well, AI is doing that for me, and we are the generation who can do that. But upcoming generations might not be able to do that because they have, at the day one, have had that tool. So is it something you consider a dystopian future, or is it something you say, well, we have to make sure as educators that they are able to do it by themselves?
It depends from us, from educators. So how this learning process will going on in universities. If we could discuss and make these evaluations and explanations why you did this and how this will help and that, then I think we could. It will not happen. But if AI will generate and we using AI will give feedback, then it could happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to add on that. Are we already discussing?
No, I have some more slides, but we can start discussion.
Because it fits perfectly, because I think this is one way of questioning, but another question would be, okay, what does it mean to be an educator in an era of AI? So what is this educational tasks teachers are supposed to fulfill? Because there were so many in your first slides, there were so many promises of EdTech. You said the possibilities or potentials, but I'd like to think of them as promises, because this is what they are, and this is a promised or one possible future that you just imagined. But another question would be, okay, or something that I am puzzled with is this, okay, let's have a look what people that produce AI tools imagine as administrative tasks. There was this one slide where was written AI can automate administrative tasks, and then came grading, tracking progress, providing feedback, and there were so many things added that I would assume to be educational tasks, things that a teacher needs to do or know about students. How are they performing? How are they feeling? Where are they standing in their learning progress? So this is sort of mixed up. And I wouldn't ask, okay, is it possible that we forget how to be a teacher? It would be a better question to ask, what kind of teachers do we want to leave university, and how do we imagine them to be?
I agree with you, but on the other hand, you will have more time to look on your students, to talk with them, to understand what they need, and then quickly ask.
Yeah, but isn't that ridiculous? It tells us you save time to do the actual teaching by forgetting that you need all this information. I need to talk to students. I need to kind of engage with them.
Maybe it depends on country and educational system of country, because in Latvia, as I mentioned, 24 contact lessons. It means you need to teach in classroom 24 hours per week. And overall, you have 40 hours per week, and all these other tasks are included here. And it's too less time if you're taking into account that in a lot of subjects we don't have books for pupils. We have a new standard, new curricula since 2018. It's 7 years, and we still don't have books in some subjects, and teachers are spending a lot of time to prepare lessons. And in that case, it is very useful. And also, if you are not spending time for lesson, like usual lesson, then you can think about, okay, it will be a lesson, but I have student with that need and with this need, and I know that he will react in this place in this way, so I can think about how I can make this lesson plan more individual, or even if I have no ideas what to do, I can ask to AI to give me ideas, and then I can decide which is good and which is suitable for me or not. But the main idea is that you will not be overloaded by doing things which takes a lot of time, but can give more impact on things which are really useful for students' learning.
Yeah, I perfectly get your point. The thing is, only if these tools that kind of produce lesson plans, they reproduce the known. They reproduce the thought of teaching in lessons, in classes, in 45-minute lessons, and they don't challenge this way of educating students.
But you can ask.
Yeah.
You can ask to challenge.
Yeah. Do I get the idea if I'm not invited to see something else but lesson plans? So this is kind of reproducing the known. Yeah. And I'm really puzzled about these expressions like reducing the burden of teaching and teachers, because this is the actual work, and this is like, it's a way of talking about appreciated tasks. I mean, it's so.
I think maybe this situation in Germany and Latvia is quite different. Because we have a lot of teachers who are burning out and they just leaving school. Yeah, a lot of teachers every year, and
it's not so different.
Then but they are saying that it is too much work to prepare lessons, to think about this individualization, about differentiation, about special needs students which you need to include, about all these things, and then write emails to parents. So you can just ask to write these emails, just put some table with data and ask to prepare for each student.
I get this point. It's just the system is broken. Now let's use tech to fix it. Well, it never worked out. Let's try a new way, try something else. This is just...
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. So, but if you still don't want to remake system, but somehow fit in this system, you can look for AI tools which can be helpful, and here is 2 databases. So there will not be specific search for education. There are more for marketing, like videos, like preparing presentations and so on. But if you will just write in this search, small search window, for example, math teaching, you will have AI tools which are developed for teaching or learning math or science or other things. And I just want to ask you, what AI tools do you use in your everyday life? There will be possibility to write more than one. So I see that you have quite similar preferences, but there are some more interesting, and it's very nice that university provide to you a specific AI tool. We are still on the way of this. So as ChatGPT is the most popular. There are more like ChatGPT, it's Gemini, Copilot, and Perplexity, and other things. And but there are some AI tools which are developed for teachers, like EduIDEM, Magic School, My Lesson Pal. And how they work, they skip these long prompt writing. You just click on this on these buttons, what do you want? For example, planning. For example, you need this lesson seeds or ideas for lessons, which grade, and you can write this aim, target of lesson, and just click on enhance, and after some of your words he will write very nice learning objective for lesson, and then just click generate and you will have something similar like you did in the previous task. And you can see that there are for administrative things and questions and feedback and assessment as well. But the basic principle is the same as for ChatGPT, just maybe easier to use by clicking, not writing long prompts. And I think that we can stop here. There are quite a lot of AI tools, and you can decide, do you need it or not, and which one do you need. I use a lot of them because I don't want to pay. I just want to do things, and usually if you want to generate images or videos or something like that, you have credits, or you can do a very small amount of this job, and therefore I decided to buy for money for ChatGPT, as at that time it was a better option. If you use free version, you would see that the result is not so good. There will be more fake information inside, and so on. So we can stop here. We can stop here, but if you think this presentation could be useful, then you can scan QR code and have it. And also, if someone needs individual consultations, then I will be tomorrow. Professor Benjamin, where I will be? In which room?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We will talk about that. So there is my email. You can write me, and I will answer to you in which room you could meet me. So it's for those who are not here and can't ask questions right now. So, but keep calm. There is an AI for that, what you want to do. So
thank you so much for this interesting speech. Thank you.
You were very motivated auditorium. And yeah, thank you for your participation.
Thank you. Yeah, and we already had lots of questions in the room. I'm not sure, are there any comments you suggested to open the questions?
In this tool, there is no questions.
I think yeah. Are there further questions you would like to ask? Anything else? Benjamin?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for your interesting presentation. I have many questions, but maybe we can talk about that later when we're going to lunch. But what my main question is, what is your perspective on how teacher education has to change regarding the implications you showed in terms of how AI can, should, must be used in this regard? So is there something like you say we have to focus more on media education, critical media literacy? So what do you say has to change in terms of how we make teachers capable of using AI adequately?
I would say that we need to to pay more attention on methodology and content, how they work with students, because students are using AI. I know I have 3 children, and I can see how they talk each other and very quickly find the new tools and use them to be, I'd say, more lazy and go this easiest way. So it means that that this teacher education not only need to include learning of AI, so teachers can understand how to use it as helper, but also how to teach students to analyze and to use this AI in correct ways. And I suppose that in some years we will talk not about how AI can support, but we will talk about changes of how learning process is going on. If we nowadays talking not to give informations, but help teachers to be seekers for information, then there will be new suggestions how we look on what learners must do and how they could do in light of AI. Because if we will forbid it, it doesn't work. They will use it anyway. Yeah.
When I'm allowed, do you see some sort of a consensus at your university that this might be the aim of teacher education? Because my impression is that at the University of Fechter, I know it's online, there isn't, or in many universities, there's not some sort of a consensus in terms of what is actually the implication and the imperative in terms of how to deal with AI. So do you see at your university some sort of consensus in this regard, or is it also a very problematic or complicated way to maybe think about the aims of studying or to become a teacher? Or something like that?
I can give an example of University of Tartu. It's the best university of Estonia. And they said that, please use AI. Please use it, because if you will not know how to use it, you will be at the back end. So we want to be in front. And it's quite different from approach of University of Latvia, because we said don't use AI. You need to think with your own minds. You need to know everything. And I don't know how it will be in some years, which way will be the correct one, but AI will change things, how we are thinking. And I think we need to put more impact on these ethical aspects and on the result, because if doctors will learn by using AI, then this diagnosis could be wrong. But in the same time, there are a lot of AI tools which are much quicker and best to make diagnosis. So, and the same is for teachers. So how to be clever enough to use this AI for work, but in the same time to understand what he gives you. I can't imagine how it will change our university life during some years, because now we have discussions that a bachelor thesis they doesn't fit because mostly of students use a lot of AI. How we know it? Because there is no plagiarism at all. It is impossible to have work with 1% of plagiarism. It means that AI will help it a lot of this. And then, is this useful? Maybe not. And now we have discussions how this final work when you want to graduate university must look like, what instruments to use to ask students to think with their own brains. And maybe this discussion will end in some years, and we will look on this in different perspective. I don't know, because AI is developing all the time, and how it will stop, I don't know. I can't answer you.
I have a suggestion. Maybe we change the questions. Like Benjamin asked, how do we make teachers capable of using AI? So the tech is perfect. We just have to adapt. Well, but maybe I'm translating. Sorry. But rather ask, okay, how do we make AI more capable of being useful for or being the way we want it to be, and be more precise about what do we mean when we talk about AI, because we talked about a very specific sort of AI and not the AI is doing something. It's like, let's be more precise about this and let's not assume that the technology is already there and can't be changed, because there's a lot of talk about and also research about this, the question, okay, how can educational practitioners or researchers kind of engage in the process of creating AI, and this might be a way of coming along. Okay.
Yeah, but you can't change the problem with the same mindset which this problem was grown up. So it could be, it will be very interesting time. So I hope that we will be clever enough.
That we have the brains.
That we have brains, and we will not say, oh, if I could relive my teaching years again, then I will change this. But I hope that we will be clever enough to deal with this not as problem, but as opportunity.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, for the hope, for your speech, for your interesting thoughts, for the discussion. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you. Bye.